what's going on? What's going on? This is your Shay. Thank you for hitting the right play. Uh, hopefully you hear me. But we'll be gonna watch. Hopefully you hear me. Let's see. Yeah, forgive me because I'm thinking on a little stand or whatever. But hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can. Who's that? What's okay, me? Hello, how you doing? All right, y'all. So tonight we're gonna talk about a little bit something different. We're gonna talk about story time. Okay. Uh, about your girl Shay. All right. Now we all talk about relationships, that's what ups and downs of relationships. Talked about earlier on Miss Girls Live. And I say, you know what, I need to go live. I ain't been live in a couple of days. And it's time to do a story time about your girl. We gotta go click the play and be right back. Okay, what's going on? Okay. So I'm gonna turn this truck off as long as I can. I have to turn it back on. But anyway, okay, so we all been through bad relationships. We all talk about it on here on my live. We talked about it on here before, okay. But this time we go a little bit deeper about your girl Shape. Okay. Now my biological father and what's my biological mom, they both are still living. We're married. Okay, I'm the oldest of four children. Okay, so their relationship was nowhere near idle. They were nowhere near to idolize off of. Okay, my daddy constantly cheated on and off. Okay, my mother was constantly emasculating and verbally disrespectful. It is what it is. Okay, now they would fight in front of me often. I would always keep my hand on the phone. He used to work at night. First, he worked at the waterfront for a little while, doing hard labor, kind of making good money. Um, then he went from there to work. You know, the guy that sweeps the parking lots at night? That's what my dad used to do. Okay. All the way up until he went to jail. Okay. So, there's four of us. I'm the oldest of four. And they used to fight. Real fight real bad. And fist fights. Okay. Um, there was times that one time we stayed in apartments, my dad was waiting for her underneath the stairs. They get the stairs is open. And there's an open little area right there. And once my dad had grabbed her by her ankle and snatched her and made her fall down the stairs. Really, really bad fist fights. Okay, I don't have. It's too many of them really to count to keep track of. Okay, but thanks, Kevin. They don't even hear me though. Um, so it's too many physical cases to count. Times they're fighting, but at the last go around, my daddy was cheating my mom. Not supposed to. My dad was also smoking weed laced with other things. Weed be laced with other things sometimes. And he was on that kind of tip, leaving the job at night, but sometimes as a woman because he worked overnight, right? So yeah, yeah. So yeah, so he was on the type of tip, but he was kind of wilding. My dad ain't gonna say his name, but he was wilding. Okay, yeah, I don't know what it was. They constantly with JJ, they constantly insulted each other. Often. My dad's family really did not really like my mom very much. They accepted her, of course, because she had four of us by him, so she didn't have very much of a choice. But I have an older half sister that was always placed above me. Just to give you the kind of atmosphere it was going over there, kind of atmosphere the family was on that side. Um, you know, didn't really like my mama really that much, really. They just basically just went on and accepted her because of us. The four of us, like I said, the oldest of four. So I was constantly getting up out my sleep, sometimes at night, my little pink phone in hand sometimes, my hand on my phone, my little nightgown. Mother zip her nightgown, see if they was gonna fight. And they stayed there for on and off for some years, y'all. All the way up until I was 14 years old. Then she really fan. Okay. Now there are a lot of women that are married just to say they married. There are a lot of women that are married to say they're married to their kid's father because they don't want to move. They want to stay comfortable. They don't want to do anything else. And that's what I think the case was with my mom. My mama just wanted to stay um, with my daddy because she had us. So I guess she's had in her head she just wanted to have all her kids by the same father. And nobody get in trouble with her for this, but it's not about her tonight, it's about me. Um, but it really messed with me, that as a kid from elementary to middle school, I had to constantly work with my mom and parents killing each other. Okay. Um, things like that. Now they didn't fight extremely frequently, but when they would fight, it would be bad. Okay. And the fact that I had to worry about that as a kid constantly anyway, definitely made an effect on me. Okay. Especially in my future relationship, especially when it comes to opposite sex. I mean, I've dated, I've been open to guys, that's cool. All women do. But well, like let a man like have full control. I don't think I would do it. That's the right one. Okay. Now let's get to the last straw. Okay. Now I'm 14 years old, right? I just made 14. Okay. No, I had made 14 yet. It was April. We still going to school, so I'm sorry, I'm still going to school still. And we was in a duplex. Stayed in a duplex, two bedroom, two bedroom, one bath, I think. Two bedroom, two bedroom type situation that we was in. And my mom wasn't working. Okay. My baby brother, my brother at the time was like 3 years old. Um, my sister underneath me, Darisha, wasn't there. Um, and then my baby sister was only like 8 months. Okay, she's only 8 months old, and so okay, my mom was cussing him out on the phone. I guess she must have found the other woman's phone number in some kind of way, or one was contacting her the side one they had. Right, I mean, he was sneaking off. We're supposed to be working at night, sneaking off and we'll see his woman. Okay, so my mom was cussing him out, all kind of names, and she's calling everything you can call her, right? Of course, you know. Um, and so when he came home and things like that, and so they cussed each other out. I'm standing in the hallway waiting to see if they're gonna fight or anything like that. And he's like pushing my mama, bump, getting him in his face. You know what I'm saying? He in his work uniform. He supposed to be at work now. He supposed to be at work, okay? But he came home in the middle of his shift. So from my mama, right? Which I don't know in his head what he thought he was doing. Like from my mama, like he was cheating, and he was doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like you balls stage ass to work, baby. So he comes to the door. He big faces on my mama, pop, hits him. And mama, cussing him out, cutting him out for some things like this. So he goes out to the garage, right? So he goes to the garage and he starts breaking with the washer and dryers. I don't know what it is with you men that get pissed off and get so mad and you damage shit, especially in a house where you have your children. Okay, I don't know what the hell that is about. I don't know what that is. Okay, but hopefully you get over to get it together. For the women that are dealing with a man and he damages shit, he breaks shit, he punches holes in walls, he breaks the TV, he does crazy stunts. You know what I'm saying? This is a sign for you that something else bigger is coming. Okay, my dad did something went off. Okay, for damage and stuff. Right. Um. Anyway, we ain't got time to go through all of it. So he's damaged stuff. I'm calling him kind of B's and H's. Right. Uh. She goes outside the garage. They fight a little bit more. Fight a little bit more. She goes in the kitchen. He hits her, and her face a little bit swollen. I think it was her left eye, left eye. And they cussing each other back and forth. And then you bitch, and then they go back and forth with each other. And so he comes back in. with bleach. She's coming around thinking comes like I guess I'm fighting. 'Cause I don't know what the hell was gonna happen. I'm crying, and I'm yelling for them to stop, right? And so she gets back to the door of the garage, right? And he splashes bleach. He does the wash and dries in the garage, or we was at the duplex. So he splashes bleach in her face first, okay? And so Mama, you phone get bad, so I'm like, this is the custom out. And then stop cussing. Then stop cussing out. Then she comes, she splashes water in her face. Then she comes back out the kitchen again and stabs him. He opens up the garage door. I guess things were found, or maybe she'd been stealing her by the bleach or whatever. So she comes up the garage with a knife in her hand. You know, like, the kitchen is here. It's a little walkway. There's the garage right there. Garage door. And I'm standing right here at the edge of the hallway. I'm crying. Still yelling for them to stop. You know what I'm saying? And at this one time, you know, I called the police. Most place bleaching. I called 911 at this point in time. I had a little phone in my room. You know, as a girl, I was kind of spoiled a little bit. You know, I was kind of spoiled just a little bit. You know, and had my own little phone or whatever. So, my mom had bleaching eyes. Said, "Come in," and she jigs my daddy like around here in the shoulder like twice. Okay, and, yeah, right. And he hit her, and she bags back. Goes in the kitchen, starts washing her face more. The knife has a little blood on it, right? She throws it into the sink. And washing her face. And yeah. It's kind of live there. It's kind of live. So my dad comes back into the kitchen and you're gonna say F me, you gonna say F you, and everything you got I gave you. You know what I'm saying? The type of talk, you know. So, the remember that old gas can? The can type, not the little plastic one they sell in the little gas can one that was red, okay? Now, he used that. He uses that, okay? Um, my mama comes around again, ready to cuss him out. So she had a knife in her hand this time. And he was just standing there, and he had like his uniform on, whatever still. And uniform was like, he'll bleed looking right here. And the uniform was a look regular uniform they had to wear when you sweeping the parking lots at night with that. The machine you drive, and then the thing cleans the parking lot at night. You know what I'm talking about. You've been seeing them at night, especially you truckers. Okay. Anyway, you EMF for EMF for you, baby. They call it because I'm gonna you gonna treat me like that. And my mom, I'm sick of your shit. My baby shut the seas. Then she start thinking that. Then she start thinking about me, right? Heck of a time, right? They still thinks about me, um, of course, and my baby sister who was there at the time, right? And my brother, I forgot what Arisha was. I forgot what she was. I think she's my aunt. I think my other cousin, same age as her. And my baby shot the head is. See this shit. I was like, I go to school, whatever. I said she had bleached out in her face. And she bleached out her face, and she stabbed my daddy. Right? Okay. And he's at the garage door still. And she's halfway about the door, and he's at the garage door cussing her out, this and that. And so he slams the door, and Mama like, you motherfucker, I'm tired of your ass. And she's just study going on. And then he comes back all of a sudden with the gas can. With the swing door open, runs, hurry up, splashes it, downs it. Downs my mama sees it. My mama is like she went back halfway to the kitchen. She turns halfway, sees the door swing open, and sees him with the gas can. Yeah, at this point in time. So she's like halfway like this. I'm saying like this. And he douses it. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And then the towel is already lit in the other hand. The towel's already lit on fire, and in the other hand he got. So the towel at this, the can in this. Right, really. Yeah, I'm gonna say it to you again. Okay, the gas can here in this, and the towel on this. Okay, ready, really ready. Okay, my splashes it. It misses my mom, hits the wall, and hits the table, and throws it at the same time. Trying to throw it at the same time at my mama, and it lands on the wooden regular ass little table, which kind of lit on fire. Okay, um, so at this point in time, my mama's in the kitchen. Dad, F you, F you. And that's it. It's how my dad leaves. Okay. He leaves, he runs back out the garage, runs out the garage. Um, he gets into the vehicle. He goes to work and then he came in and he leaves. Okay. Now this one time I'm on the phone after seeing something like that. I'm a little girl. I'm calling, and you know my dad tried to set my mama on fire. Of course. So of course that brings in the you know what child. That street was so packed with laws and fire department. It was pitiful. If your ass stayed on that street and you was in the emergency and had to get somewhere, you just would have been held stuck. That's how bad it was. I'm a little girl crying on a 911 phone call. Okay, saying that my daddy wants to set my mom on fire. Okay, so the police show up, things like that, and no, before the police show up, before the police show up, my daddy tries to come back, and we had an old white couple next to us, and he tries to come back to the door, things like that. No, he tried to come back to my door, and I had opened it, right, and my mama had ran to our next door neighbor. So he came up to the door we stayed in. I didn't open the door, but I locked the door and I let the garage down, right? And next door, he went to where the other couple was. My mom was hiding it at that point in time. She ran next door to me. And it's just so long, you have to forgive me, y'all. It's all it's come flip back to me. And the white couple that let me in to touch my mama. Like mom has bleach and gasoline, saying on her clothes. There's a little bit like it hit her like shoulder. The gasoline hit her like a little burn. On the legs and shoulder, things like that. So he leaves. The head sort of was there. Uh, mom comes out. My mom face is like, I was swollen. Uh, that shit, her nose was bleeding a little bit. And of course, she reeked of bleach and gasoline. Um, and so they asked my mom if the laws coming in and out and checking, things like that. This point in time went, my laws had pulled up, came to go, I had the door open, the wide open. And I grabbed my baby sister, who was only like 8 or 9 months. 9 months, like 8 or 9 months at the time, once. And I had a D by the hand, my brother. He was only like 2 or 3 years old. We in our nightgowns. We in our nightgowns, standing in a little driveway. While I was walking in and out, they walk around the back of the little backyard thing we had. Uh, Things like that and whatnot. Searching for him, but he long gone. He long left at this point in time. And so Lyle said, ambulance checking my mama. And I had Lyle's like, well, ma'am, are you going to, press charges? And my mama finally said yes. It took years of verbal and physical abuse to him and back to you and vice versa. For you to finally even press charges against him, putting his hands on. Ladies, is you'd be surprised what a lot of women are putting up with just to say they're married. Now, y'all know I love my mom. I love her absolutely to death, but I do um, hold her to account for being in such a toxic relationship for so long. Okay? If your husband's or man, people do not like you, they'll ever kiss their ass. I've learned that from watching my mom. That may sound rough. You may not like want to hear that, but if they don't like you, don't kiss their ass. But what it does is for the person that you with, it puts you underneath. With my mom, I feel like it devalued her. Do you understand? Does that make sense? That she came behind them, and after that, being your wife, I don't come behind your mama and your dad. If that's how you feel, you stay a single man. Okay, and it will start kind of from there with the verbal and emotional abuse, because emotional abuse and verbal abuse and definitely physical abuse of wow, it's one of the type of cases that slowly went there. Right. Um, but they called him 2 days later. He was at I think his brother or cousin's house. Found arresting him and court proceedings, things like that. And I remember, and I never forget, they both deceased now. They both dead and gone, right? My dad's parents blamed me. I catch that. They blamed me, and I was a 14-year-old child, held me accountable for my daddy going to jail. Your mama could have came down. Yeah, she could have stopped cussing him out. She could have left my mom. Yeah, she could have been less emasculated. Yeah, I hold that to her. Hold that to her. I already tell her that already. So how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But how do you blame a 14? Do you know that does? Do you know that does to a 14-year-old girl from your own grandparents is gonna tell you they blame you for your daddy going to jail? Do you know what that does, really? I want responses on this too. I want y'all to really understand it. It happened. It's real. I experienced it. Okay. And they blame me. They call my mama a dumb woman, a bitch, and all the kind of things like that. My grandmother, my great grandmother said they didn't want to see us. They want to see their four grandchildren. Okay. The whole time we went to court, things like that. I didn't have to take the stand on anything. They didn't. My mama didn't have me take the stand when we went to court. He took a plea deal, whatever. Because my dad had been in trouble two previous times before this. Before they sent my mom even in jail for, I think, possession, and then another time for assault already. So, like in the state of Texas, you like a 3 time loser. Okay, so I didn't have to get on the stand and testify against somebody. I didn't have to do all that. Um, I was taken out of school, I think, for about like a month. Okay, when it happened, and like I said, we had no support from my dad's side of the family at all. But they blamed me. They blamed my mom and they blamed me from going to jail. They basically saying I didn't have to call the police. Yeah, I didn't have to call the police on nobody. Um, I could just stay in the child's place. Mom just could not have kept calling the phone and calling at work and damaging his clothes and calling him all kind of names. They really reported on any angle going on. Let's see. Any angle that you could think of in conversation and dialogue to blame me for him going to jail. They said these are people at the time that were in their 70s, 80s, and pushing on 90s. Okay, they want to see me from other siblings. We kids now. I'm 14 years old. I'm the oldest. The youngest one, eight. I think Don was like 8, 9, or 10 months old. You for real right now? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Um, so I guess now that I when I do get into a relationship with a guy or whatever, and people don't like him, I think it's been part of one of the big breakers for me. Because a lot of you guys, you want a woman that gets along with 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 your with your family. That's what you want. As far as your dream girl, when you want to marry, or want to consider marriage, things like that. But let me help tell you something. You never ever tell your woman, your girlfriend, your wife, to submit to your family's ways. If they don't want to fully respect her as a woman, they don't acknowledge her as being your woman, do not expect her to walk around age. Okay? Don't do it, ladies. I learned from my mom, don't do it. They don't like you from damn day one. They never like you. You've been over backwards. You can go here, you can go to there. Why? This day it's not about y'all and them getting along. It's nice that y'all get along. It's cute that y'all get along. But that you ain't gotta get along with this. That was some portion of confusion that I saw being the marriage between my mom and my dad. You understand what I'm saying? You may not get that. You may not. I don't get that, but you may think differently. But my ladies, I think you understand where I'm coming from. Okay. Um. So yeah, they blame me. to blame me. So long story short, they gave my daddy 15. Yeah, they gave him 15 years, but they let him out after 9.5. After nine and a half years, let him come home. Like I said, three-time loser. We did not go see him, but twice. I think I'm the only one that saw him because I was the oldest. So my mama didn't care for me, but she didn't care for her. She cared for me going, but she didn't want the three younger ones to go. I think I saw him twice the entire 9.5, 9 years and 8 months. Yeah, yeah. And I remember when I went to go see him and he was locked up. He was locked up on the 6th or 7th year, I think, when I finally decided to go see him. I think his 5th year. You know. And he was like, well, there's someone been locked up here. I think you like existed. And I said, yeah, but it's been kind of hard because, I'm still a kid. I was like 17. No, like 18, 19 years old. Just not put things together. Just not graduating from high school. Think of all the things, nigga, you missed with me. You missed my prom, graduation. Like, but he basically tried to sit there and like try to twist it a little bit around. Like, this is also your fault. Like the rest of his family. But I'm sitting there trying to get at you. Like, are you for real? Are you serious right now? Mm. We talk every now and then. Me and we don't talk every so often now. We miss each other sometimes like that. But we talk and miss each other maybe like once a month. We do communicate back and forth. But it's like, you know, he always thought it's like this thing of I abandoned him. When nigga really like you more abandoned me. You have to understand this as adults and there's children involved, you're in something that's not good. But how good it looks, how good it feels. Do you think you making something easier for yourself? As no, I blame for this whole scenario. I do blame both of my parents. Right? I do feel like my mama could have been left, my daddy could have been left. There's a whole lot of emotional and verbal abuse that went on in this marriage. That literally led to chaos and almost led to murder. You know what I'm saying? When my mom I went to the doctor and saw her face and everything else, my doctor told her that she almost could have been blind. Doctor told her one more day. But she didn't immediately go to the doctor. I told her one more day. And then the ambulance saw her, put stuff on her face. She didn't go to the hospital. And she took her to the hospital like 2 3 days later after the fact. Right. Um, so but doctor told her that one more day she would have been blind in both eyes. Because the big douse of bleach. Face not. The bleach is strong. Anyway. Bleach and then the gasoline, I think. Then when she hit the sideway, I think the gasoline hit her. It like limit her eyes also. He dashed it right there on. Tried to dash it out like that one. But to me both of them held it. I guess this is for the reason why I'm still probably single, because I watch when my mama, compromise. And only when I'm not in an imaginary world. I don't think that I have unrealistic demands in a relationship or in a man period. And there's gonna be some days he's gonna forget things. There's gonna be super affectionate all the time. I know he has kids. His kids still come first sometimes. He's gonna be for sometimes. I know that in my age back in the 30s, he already have kids. And it's one, two, or three. I don't like to have more than three personally. Right? I don't have unrealistic views. I don't really think I do. It's just What you may see as normal, I see it as a red flag. If that makes sense. You know, but now it's just this. And I'm like, hell no. If he a super heavy drinker, no. My dad loved to have him a drink every 2 days, 3 days he have a drink anything. He just drink and have a glass of wine once out the month. Or one Saturday, Sunday, things like that. He would drink. I don't want a guy that's a weed head. Okay. It was cute when teens and twenties we dating a guy, but sometimes weed is a gateway drug to other things. If if he's extremely weak minded, if he does not have a whole lot of self discipline, then okay, is what. So I don't want it. You know, you have a lot of guys, especially in trucking, they're out here rolling these trucks and smoking on some trees like ain't nothing wrong. Putting a livelihood at risk behind these wheels, drinking, driving high, when they CD all the time. There's certain things that you may go for that I think is a total no for me. You get what I'm saying? And you know, I know not be the particular type, whatever you want to call me. But no, there's just certain things that I just don't feel totally comfortable with my experience. I've seen what um just say I have a man, or I've seen what I'm comfortable really the hell looks like. Okay? Really the hell looks like. And still to this day, you know, um my remember that we talked, but we're not as close as we should be. We could be. You understand what I'm saying? There's communication. There's communication back and forth with him, but it's not extreme closeness. But I think about if I would have had a man there during the real crunchy years, because from 13 to 21, those are crunchy years in a woman's life. That's when you really decide, what you want to kind of do in life, the things you want to do, the aspirations you have, things that really bother you, really get just to start really exploring yourself. And just start learning how to set boundaries and learning how to have relationships, learning how to reach out to connect to people and learning and, and going after your education and just spreading your wings. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman does not have, a young lady does not have that father figure, then yeah, we are susceptible to discovering what love is on our own. And then fuck around may not actually be good. You understand? And I'm not blaming him for my relationships, but who's to say if I would have had it? He'd been out here in a free world with me, with my young brothers and sisters. I've had a sister get shot. You know what I'm saying? By a man that she was with. He was whooping on her, and we know nothing about it. Kept a secret from us. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's the things we watch and saying. That's okay, women. If you have daughters, it's not okay to see you suffer. Let them see you as a man that loves on you, that's affectionate, that gives you hugs, gives you kisses, that buy you flowers, that comes home when he's supposed to, that sits at the table and have dinner and eat with y'all. If he's a stepfather, it's not wrong making the man feel the respect him, but make sure that he's stepping up to the plate all the way around for you. So just telling these men have stuff in your lives like this. Now, if you in a special arrangement, you're home with little friends, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about some of the ones that are really calling yourselves in real life relationships. Let people walk around let people walk around your cheeks. Or you in a marriage and you know your husband messing around on you. Eventually, that is going to lead to a problem. Eventually, that's going to explode. It's so many of you wives, I don't care if I'm not married, that are married with these husbands, you putting up these husbands around on you. You keep telling yourself in your mind that it's okay and you want to ignore it, but eventually something's gonna happen. Something got to shake. You get tired of the humiliation, you get tired of the hurt, you get tired of just being silent while he does what he wants. Do you understand? I'm hoping I'm getting to something with y'all. Something got to break somewhere. It's not okay for him to run around. It's not okay for him to cheat. If you can be faithful, so can he. And for the men that don't want to be faithful and don't want to be married, you don't want to be one woman, you're not happy, get divorced, separate, don't get married in the first place, and you bring somebody else's life down, bring a marriage down. They even see yourself for to be in trouble. It's so many black men behind bars now, behind putting their hands on a woman. Now some women have lied, which is not cool, but majority of it in there because it's a situation you could just got out of. My dad could walked away from this marriage a long time ago because he was constantly emasculated. He was constantly disrespected, constantly. Same thing for you men. I put away with verbal abuse either. Eventually you're gonna laugh off at her ass. Eventually you're not gonna have her putting her effing hands on you. It's not gonna be cool. You understand? When they're gonna be in a bad mood, you'll be going through things, you're gonna be breaking loose in your job, and your other extended family will be acting up and acting crazy, and you're gonna come home to a peaceful house, and she's not, because you've made this norm in your household. Never make chaos a norm for you in your life. Never. The day can come where that can turn, and this particular day that turned and cost my dad almost 10 years old, almost bit of his life. They could have separated. Of course, I probably wouldn't have had Diamond or maybe Lil D. But they could have separated. They could went their separate ways. You know what he could have accomplished in the 9.5 years he lost. He could went back to school, start a successful business, anything. I'm not fully let my mom off the hook for this. She was a victim and she wasn't. Much as I love her. Huh. Tell me, tell me, but don't. Jealousy is not love. I'm talking about a man's extremely jealous. That's not love. That's controlling. Some of you women have been in seeing suppression in your relationships with your grandmother or your mom or your dad or whoever raised you, and you think that's actual love, and some things are not actual love. Some things are controlling. Are you being submissive, or you underneath suppression? Does he call you names of any kind? Is he always affectionate majority of the time, or do you have to be the one always to initiate the affection? You already forgive him for cheating. I'm like my mom already has. He keeps doing it. Why are you staying? I mean, some people are scared of being alone. Ain't nothing really scared about being alone. I mean, there is the getting up in old age and having somebody care for you, and I can understand that. But I'm not willing to risk my peace or having a future at all just to hold on to something right now. Hell no, don't want to do that. Not going to do that. The link is at the top of the chat for anybody that wants to uh, come in. But yeah, I found. Now, recent time, my mother has been remarried since I was, what, 26, 27 years old. Okay, she is unhealthy marriage. See, now I have an example of somewhat of a marriage looks like. Okay, they have their ups and downs too, but I've never had to deal with my stuff for putting his hands on my mother. I've never had to deal with him calling her out of name, calling her out of things. I've never had to deal with him destroying things in the house. I've never had to deal with him, you know, you know. the extreme crazy type of. It's not nowhere near his norm. It's nowhere near his character. It's nowhere near his vocabulary. Period. And you see it and you know. You understand there is communication between them. There's concern between them. Concern about your well being all the time. I mean all the time. I mean I care about your feelings every now and then. You get a little weight. But it's concern about their well being at all times. So I've seen that now. Okay. So both my mom and my stepfather now have been previously married. So that could be like a plus or negative. Um, but when I think about it, with me and brothers and sisters, neither one of us are in any real serious relationships. I guess we all have been affected in a way that well, I've acknowledged it. I think I definitely have acknowledged it. Um, I don't know if my my baby sister is in some level of serious relationship, but they're not engaged. No, they're towards getting married. It is proposed, right? My other brother and sister, not relationship at all in their mind. So I guess, you know, I have come to terms and understanding what it is that my obstacle is in a relationship. Um, and I'm working on that. I realize I'm working on it, y'all. But it's always this thing there of, I don't put up with nothing that I feel like could be a danger to me. I don't, I get gone. I get gone, baby. I don't play around with it. The minute nigga balls up his fist, the minute niggas calls me bitch or H or anything on my name, I don't hang around with it. You can call me fat, you can call me ugly, you can say I look like a Teletubby. I don't give a damn. I get gone. Okay, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it, and I never the hell will. Okay, never. I wish a lot more you would get on the same bandwagon. Okay, there is somebody out there for you. There's somebody that will love you the way that you have to tell yourself that you never ever have to settle for anything coming your way. You never do. Tell it about it. You know what I mean? Even though we love Kevin saying, but sometimes he would say some things I wouldn't agree with. Like you ought to be giving that thing away because you have kids. You don't have to settle for anything because you made previous bad choices. You know, I had some. Sorry, what it is. Say what you want. I could feel. I can feel the back of your ears now, damn it. But the shit you got to see, I know. She think he is a woman. Don't know exactly whose I am, what I am. That's what this. Mm. You have to understand that. If you once you understand that, you will be in fear about being by yourself, and you definitely will get away from things that you definitely get away from something that you know is not for you. Now I have in the past, I've never had a man like beat me like when I was like my mom and my biological dad been through, but I've had a guy, like be verbally abusive, like down, you know what I'm saying, make fun of me or put me down in front of his friends and things like that. I've had a guy choke me, push me to a wall. I think I was like 20 feet, so much like that. And I thought I was grateful to have him. But you may have to understand a woman is your helpmeet. You're grateful to have her. But I may not understand that. You want this just to lay on your back, and everybody needs to lay on your back. I'm here to assist you with things that you ever want. And life is hard. I just said, life is hard, and it is hard to do things by yourself. It is easier to have someone next to you. You're going through a lot of things, but what are you willing to go through just so you have someone? Are you going? Is it making your life better? You have to look at it like this. Does this person make your life better? Does this person um, assist you in going after your dreams? Do they encourage you to be a better person? Or are they faithful? And some people think it's hard. People think I'm adding on too much. I'm not adding on too much. I'm just keeping it 100. You be surprised. Um, a lot of women in their 40s and 50s don't even know what the hell they like, really. And just because you're 40 does not mean that you're really old. You're just now getting to fully understand and know your worth, know what you want out of life, know the things that all your pluses and minuses. You just not starting to perfect a lot of things in your life just because you hit the wall, quote unquote, like 40 does not mean there's no hope left. For you to go run and go be with something that's not right. So that's all I have to say. Towards time for you, girl. I know I'm gonna catch a little hill for that. I know I am. I know I am. I know a few of y'all live right now. So hopefully watch the replay. I want to read the comments and see what y'all have to say. Let me know you ever been in a domestic relationship, or you've had struggles in your relationship because of being in like domestic violence. Okay, because it affects. You can say all day long that it doesn't affect it does.